Hello, my name is Hillary Hess and I'm 46 years old and I live in Huntington on the beautiful North Shore of Long Island here in New York. This is my ridiculously overstocked spice cabinet, as you can see, fully stocked. So the best part about cooking, or the most important part of cooking, is having the freshest ingredients. So here I am on Sunday morning at the local farmer's market, which is like home to me. We're here every week, all season long. So one of the most important things when you're cooking or baking is using the best, freshest ingredients. Right here, I've got a Honeycrisp apple grown here in New York State. There's nothing better. They're sweet. They're just a little bit tart. The best flavor. Great pie apple. So this is my organic garden. Now this is getting towards the end of the season, so things are kind of winding down. I have this one big tomato left, this beefsteak. I'm hoping that it'll ripen on the vine. Nothing better than a homegrown tomato. I don't know if you know that song. So when I'm not growing my garden and I'm not cooking, I do a lot of volunteer work. I work with families with disabled children. I also volunteer for an animal shelter. I'm a big sucker. I do everything for everyone. And I cook for everyone. That's what I do. I've worked for some soup kitchens. Anything I can do to help out, I do. This is the only cucumber I got from my organic garden this year because the squash borers killed everything. In fact, the plant that it was on was dead, but the cucumber was still alive, thankfully. So we'll be eating that in our salad tonight. But we have a bunch of different things, mostly tomatoes because I love tomatoes. We have asparagus and blueberries and all kinds of goodies growing in our garden. But of course, tomatoes, all kinds of tomatoes are my very, very favorite. Or asparagus plants are only 2 years old, so they haven't produced a lot of asparagus yet. I'm really looking forward to next spring because that's when we're going to get the first real harvest. And our blueberries are also kind of small and new, so maybe next spring we'll get some blueberries out of them. And that's my garden, and that's where some of my best ingredients come from. Favorite herbs that I grow are basil and rosemary. I also grow parsley, but a lot of times they get eaten up by caterpillars. But that's okay because what do caterpillars become? They become beautiful butterflies, and we love butterflies. Plus, they're pollinators. We got to keep those pollinators going. So I'm a Jewish mother. What does that mean? Well, that means I'm also a Jewish cook. Jewish mothers, well, we feel like it's our obligation to heal the world with our cooking. So no matter what your problem is, there's some sort of food that's going to solve it. Whether it's a little depression, I'll make you something sweet. Maybe we're going to have a great celebration. I'll make you a great feast. Or maybe you're under the weather. My friends know if they post on Facebook that they're sick, that I'll be at their house with chicken soup within the day. Here's some that I have right on my stove right now. She's licking off the spoon right now. She's one of my foster babies. So, I don't know how I became a good cook. I know my mom is a really good cook, but she's really territorial in her kitchen. I barely ever got the chance to go in there. When I was a little girl, though, somehow or another, I decided to make chicken cordon bleu. I don't even know why. I think my friend told me she liked it, so I decided I was going to try to make it for her. And I did! And it was a big hit. So when my daughter Ariel was younger, she always had this tribe of girls that were always hanging out with her. And somehow or another, they all appeared at dinner time. And they would come into my house and go, "Gee, Miss Hess, how come something smells really good here? I wish my mom and dad cooked for me. We only eat fast food and frozen stuff." Well, they knew they had me there. So I would invite them for dinner. And this would happen 3 or 4 days a week. So suddenly, instead of having 3 kids, I had 6, 7, sometimes 8, almost every night. It was fun. I loved it. So I have a science background, and I like to use that in the kitchen. I like to do little experiments. I'm a Cub Scout den leader, and I think the most fun that we ever had as Cub Scouts was I got a big block of dry ice, and we made ice cream with it in my KitchenAid. The kids were laughing and having a great time, and then after we ate all our ice cream and there was a big chunk of dry ice left, we threw it in the toilet bowl because that's what you have to do with little boys. And there was giggling and screaming and laughter. It was a blast. I love working with kids. I've done a lot of teaching in the kitchen, even though I'm not professionally educated. So we all know that necessity is the mother of invention. Well, one day I'm at home and I'm cooking meatballs and I have a newborn baby, so I can't go running out to the store every time I need an ingredient, right? So I look at my house and I go, oh no, no breadcrumbs. So I go, that's okay, I'll go old school, I'll find some bread, maybe some stale bread, and I'll make some breadcrumbs. But unfortunately, no penicillin is going into my meatballs. It was disgusting. Anyway, so what could I use? There had to be something in my cupboard that I could use instead. So I said, I don't know if it'll work or not, but I'm going to try good old-fashioned matzo meal. Now matzo meal is designed to be absorbent, and it's designed to hold in moisture. So imagine what it does in meatballs. It keeps them juicy, it keeps them soft, it keeps them delicious. And let me tell you, it was a hit. So this is my kitchen. I couldn't possibly pick an appliance that I like the most. I have a hybrid induction cooktop that I absolutely adore. My beautiful double wall oven, which right now is proofing bread. I'm making a challah for synagogue for tomorrow. And then of course wouldn't be my kitchen if there wasn't something kooky. Because you see, I'm a scientist at heart. So here are my test tubes, and on top of my test tubes, there happens to be a brain. You never know when you might need a brain. God knows I could use an extra one around here. I love my microplane, and you say, what a strange tool to choose as something you love. Well, this microplane is awesome. I use it, of course, for zesting and nutmeg and all the common culprits. But one of the things I love to do with it is I take some butter, and I really cold butter, because it doesn't work if the butter's kind of melty. And look at that. All that looks like so much butter, but it's really only maybe a quarter of a teaspoon. Just a little tiny bit. But if you put that on vegetables, because it's such fine butter, it really gets into everything, and it tastes like you're using a whole tablespoon. It makes it so delicious, and it cuts down on your fat and calories and all that good stuff. This is one of my favorite items in my kitchen. This pan was my grandmother's wedding present in the 1920s. Can you imagine that? She cooked on this pan every single day for my mother and my aunt, who are in their 80s. And then my mother inherited it, and she cooked on it for us all the time. This is one of the most beautiful things ever, and everything that touches it is golden. This is my delicious gumbo, which I adapted from several different recipes. I know it's not traditional, but I have okra and filet in here, and it is absolutely delicious, because I think they both add something to the taste, and they just make it better. And it's just pure delight. Real comfort food, and everybody in the house absolutely loves it. So I know that I'm going to win this competition, and you know why? Because of good karma, because I'm a good person, and because I really need to. You see, 2 years ago I was diagnosed with renal carcinoma. That's right, kidney cancer. But I'm cured. The only thing I'm not cured of are my medical bills. So I really need this money, because if I have this money, I can pay my medical bills. And that means I can do more and be a better mom, because I won't be so stressed out about all of these financial issues. Please pick me and let me show you all of the wonderful things I can do. I'll make you mushroom and barley soup and split pea soup and all kinds of wonderful, delicious things. I'll make you latkes, and we'll put all kinds of crazy things on it. You will love it. One of my favorite things is a latke with a simple soft-boiled egg right on top. There is nothing better than that, and I'm going to make it for you. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen with my wonderful 11-year-old son Aiden behind the camera and our kitten at his feet. It has really been a pleasure being able to share my life with yours. I can't wait to be in your kitchen soon as well. Thank you. These are 2 kittens that I'm fostering at the moment because, no broccoli! This is a kitten-free zone. You can't eat the food. And as you can see, I do not have the heart to interrupt Miss Madison Avenue here. Hello?